from BTC, and there's something I'm also seeing about to happen on BTC, hence why I also sent a particular trade call on BTC. As you guys can see, I already have some drawings here. Okay, I've already mapped out my zones that we should buy here, have a stop loss here for swing traders if your stops can get over there. So we are targeting BTC to go back to the levels of 100k and all the way to 120k. okay, remember we trade from one zone to the other. Like I said, I've already sent out a trade call. All right, I've already sent out a trade call on BTC on the general community. So if you are not there, you can join. Though we have a little pullback right about now, we are looking for our price to continue bullish from these zones. Okay, so first TPs are 48k, then overall we are looking at price to go to 90k or 89k. all right, so that's it for BTC. Up next,
hey guys, at my FX right here, welcome back to our usual weekly market forecast. So this is the weekly market forecast for the week of the 11th to the 15th of May, which is also the second trading week for the month of May. So you know, we come on here week in week out to project 500 to 1,000 pips into the future. So you have to watch this video to the end so you could see the best level areas and best level zones in which you can take trade calls from. Let's get over to the business of the day. So we're starting off with BTC. So for BTC, we are going to remember last week we analyzed the monthly candle. Okay, so it's not very important to doing that anymore. Okay, so now we focus on the weekly candle, how the weekly candles closed. Okay, so here on the monthly time frame, let me still show you guys what we are anticipating on BTC overall. We're anticipating a very massive bullishness on BTC to at least 80k, 90k and 100k overall are moving forward. Okay, so let's go to the weekly time frame to see how last week candles close, although it hasn't closed yet because of the time in which I'm recording this video. Okay, so we are still very much bullish on the last week candle. So let's check the daily time frame. All right, so here on the daily time frame on BTC, you can see last week. Okay, this also takes us back to last week. I also told you guys we took this trade call, which I sent it I think around the weekend, which was like, was it Friday or Saturday? Yeah, actually Saturday. Okay, I sent the trade call out on Saturday for you guys to make money out of it, which a lot of people made money. You can see the area that we had little to no pullbacks. Okay, very nice sniper entry, and a lot of money was also being made. I think this was like almost, yeah, a good 1:2. So this was a very nice good 1:2 trade. Though we had actually closed this initial entry, we had another re-entry here, which I'm going to show you guys on the hourly time frame. So this is already a nice 1:2, which was part of the free trade calls which we sent during the weekend, and a lot of you all also made money on the free Telegram community. So that's why it's important that you join the free Telegram community, because there we send free forex signals. Okay, so let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so here on the 4-hour time frame, we can see how price has been moving. We have a very nice market structure in which price has been moving in series of highs, lows, highs, higher high, higher low, higher high, and a new higher low. And we're expecting price to have a new high, to create a new higher high. Why is this so? All right, this why we are already having this place there is because we had a free Zoom call during the weekend, during Thursday, which I sent this trade call out. I marked this zone and I told them we are looking for the next base zones for price to reacting from. Okay, so we also have this trend line coming all the way from the downsides. Right, we have this trend line coming all the way from the downside. So what are we expecting for the coming weeks? Price could start, we already have an arrow here, like I said, which is from like during the weeks. We could have price start being bullish from here, and our target is the 8436 84k, we could have little pullbacks and price may pull back into this trend line or close to the trend line, but overall we are still very much bullish on BTC and we are favoring the bullish side of things on BTC. Up next is gold.
Optimistic for price to go bullish. Okay, or what I need to do, I may create a little minor zones like so. So you may see price bounce off here or come back here to create like a double bottom, then a bullish continuation, then a break out of this previous high, a retest, and then a proper bullish continuation to the face level, which is the 4768 and the 4864.
So for gold for last week, let's see how gold closed for last week. All right, remember, if BTC is bullish, most likely gold also would be following the same trend. Okay, so for gold for last week, we were looking for the bullishness on gold, which we actually had that bullishness play out, which you guys are going to see. So we had some meantime pullbacks, 1 to 2 weeks. Last week was bullish, okay, which the last week candle closed with this bullish candle. So this is a good confirmation for us that price may continue bullish. Okay, so here on the daily time frame, we can see the last candle here, though price is reacting off this minor area of interest, but we have price close with that bullish candle right about there. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame to see best levels. Okay, so here on the 4-hour time frame, you guys remember this break, this retest and continuation, which is what I showed you guys for last week. Okay, which we were looking for price to play out in that way to the bullish side of things, though initially we wanted price to pull back to these zones before the continuation. I would have loved to take that buys from here, okay, but you know how price happens sometimes. So price just opened, I think price just gave us this little bearishness on Monday, and thereafter price gave us this bullishness. Okay, so last week we were actually able to predict the sells and the buys on gold simultaneously. Okay, so if you had taken the sells, yes, you will make money, and if you had taken the buys, which I feel price is more bullish than bearish, yes, you also make money out of our last week trade calls. Okay, so this was also a trade call in which we gave out on our live session, a free live session that we held on Thursday. Okay, so price is still very much bullish. Okay, we are expecting price, let me take this out. All right, let me take this out so I can plot a little bit minor zone. I can plot a new minor zones like so here. Okay, so what are we looking for the coming weeks? We could see price come back to this 44 to the 4694 ounce, then we could have that bullish put next to 4769 ounce and all the way to overall 4864 ounce. Okay, we are still very much bullish. Okay, looking at the US-Iran war, since things seems to be subsidizing, or the war is getting to an end, so we are expecting bullishness on gold. Okay, more bullishness. So I won't be giving you guys bearish side of things this week. We are going to be sticking to the bullish side of things only for this week. Okay, up next is the DXY.
I'm going to mark out a little zones like so. Alright, I'm going to mark out a little zones like so. So I'm going to give you guys bullish and bearish scenarios of things. Alright, so for the bearish side of things, since price still looks more bearish, we could have price pull back to the levels of the 97.98, then we could have that drop all the way to the downsides, or we could have price pull back into this minor level of interest, which is a 98 point, before we could have that pull back to 97 and all the way to 96. Okay,
so for the DXY for last week, okay, we had these minor zones in which we plotted, and price came into that area. We had that first drop and we had that second drop, so this was also part of the reasons in which we were able to have that, give you guys those winning trades in which we had. Remember last week, for the past 2 to 3 weeks now, for the past 3 weeks actually. Now we have been on a back-to-back winning streak. Okay, we had 5 trade calls or trade signals and only 1 loss. Even the 1 loss that we lost, technically it wasn't actually a loss from you, okay, but overall we had 5 trades and just 1 loss, which you guys are going to see in EURUSD. Okay, so moving forward for DXY had more bullishness last week, but overall let's check the weekly time frame how price actually closed. Okay, I think price is actually settling, things are getting into place. Okay, let's see what follows from next week. Okay, so for last week we can see price close with this indecision candle, nothing much, a doji candle. All right, so this is also projecting price to the downside, which I've been telling you guys, which is our $96 or 96 points, which is this green bar all the way down there. Okay, so structurally price looks like going to the downside. So let's check the daily time frame. All right, the daily time frame looks good. All right, price is quite seated on this strong support. All right, which is also our weekly AOI. We can see price has been bouncing off this several times, so this makes that zone very strong. But what really makes a very stronger confirmation for me right now for the bearish side of things is how the last week candle closed. The last candle for Friday, how it closed was the best thing that happened to us. Okay, so this is a very nice heads up, and this is one of the reasons why I'm still holding some of my trades, like 20% of my trades on the signals that I sent to you guys on EURUSD. Okay, I'm still holding 20% of it, which is a position, 1 or 2 positions on that trade, which I closed several other positions. Okay, so how Friday candle actually closed was a very nice confirmation for me that moving forward for the next week, price would even do more drops. Okay, price would even do more drops for us. Let's go to, and our next target will now be 96 point. All right, let's go to the 4-hour time frame to see if we can mark out zones. Nothing really much here on the 4-hour time frame, so let's stick to the daily time frame. Okay, so here on the daily time frame, let's mark out a little bit of minor zones. Okay, because of these weeks, you can see these weeks here, I can use that to my advantage to marking out. So if price has to come back to these minor zones in which we have marked out, okay, all what I need to see is a little pullback to these zones, which is like the 97 points or $97, right, which matches with this area. So most likely we may have a little pullback, like a buy to sell scenarios. Okay, and overall we'll be targeting our first level. So let me put a line there on that first level. Our first level there is the $97 or the 97 points. Then we'll be going all the way to the 96 points. Okay, so for the coming weeks, price is still very much bearish. Remember, we come on here to project 530,000 pips, so this is a lot of drops to the downside. So this is also part of the reason why I'm holding the trades in which I'm holding through the weekend. Okay, so that's it for the DXY. Do well to mark these zones on your phone or your trading device. Okay, up next is EURUSD.
The bullish side of things, pullback somewhere around these minor levels. Okay, and a continuation 1.18 and overall 1.186 to the upside.
So EURUSD for last week, you can see how we projected everything into precision. I was looking for price to go all the way bullish, and we wanted to see price give us that break, that retest, and we were able to make money from it. I sent EURUSD itself, we sent 1, 2, 3. Okay, we sent 3 signals from EURUSD itself alone. So that's why I told you guys that we had like 5 trade calls, 5 trades overall, and 1 loss. Okay, 5 trades and only 1 loss, which is this particular trade, which you guys can see what price did to us. This was a very nice break and retest. All right, but price had to do his thing by still coming back to these zones for a deeper pullback, okay, before that continuation. So You lose some and you win some. So that was part of it. Though overall it was a nice trade for us, it was a winning week for us, and I'm very grateful that I was able to make you guys a lot of money last week. So I would say that we are like on a 3 weeks winning streak so far. Okay, back-to-back wins, back-to-back projections and all right. So let's look at the weekly time frame, how price actually closed. It's very important that we look at how price closed on the weekly time frame. So here price is making sense, it's starting to make sense. All right, though we are still very much on this range, on the bigger picture of things. Why I'm very keen about Eurusd and DXY is this. Okay, you guys can see. Okay, let me use this. Okay, you guys can see this range. Let's measure that range. This range is like overall 300 pips plus of range. Okay, so what does this mean? If you'll be having a 300 pips range, you will definitely also have a 300 pips breakout. Whenever the breakout happens, it will also be a 300 pips. So if this breakout happens, we are also seeing price heading to the next area, which is the 1.2069, right, which is over 300 pips plus to the upside. So these are one of the reasons why I love seeing ranges, and I look for a way to take a trade from inside that range and wait for that breakout. And even when we have that breakout, okay, we could have that breakout, I may have other trade calls or entries from here, then I'll be targeting the upsides overall. Okay, so let's go to the daily time frame and see how price looks. Here on the daily time frame, nothing much is actually happening here on the daily time frame. Price action looks great. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. So here on the 4-hour time frame is a little bit technical. All right, I'll take this off so we could see it properly. So price is starting to give us bullish trajectory, ups, downs, ups, okay, higher highs, higher lows. So what do you think price would do? I'm going to mark out a little minor zone. Alright, I'm going to mark out a little minor zone like so. Alright, so what do I want to see is pullbacks to these minor zones and price continue to our first level, which is 1.181, and overall we see price go to 1.186 to the upside. So we are still very much bullish on Eurusd moving forward. Up next is Gbpusd.
New levels or new zones, so we are going to mark out a new minor zone like so. All right, I'll shift it like so. Yeah, okay, so all what we need to see, I'll give you bullish and bearish scenarios, okay, because of the indecisiveness of price lately. So we are looking for price to come back to this area, bounce off this area, which is a 1.354, which would most likely match with our moving average. All right, 50 exponential moving average. Then we should be targeting our next level, which is a 1.369, okay, to the upside. So this is more like a sell to buy scenarios. Okay, then overall we are targeting price to go to 1.37 to the upside.
So Gbpusd was part of the trade calls in which we sent, I think on Tuesday. A lot of money was being made, trade signals was being made, and I also used this, as you can see, all these write-ups here. It was also what we used for last week's thumbnail. Okay, we also used this for our last week thumbnail. We are going to check the weekly time frame, how the previous week actually closed. Remember, whatever happens on the DXY, we should be seeing the opposite happen on Gbpusd. So Gbpusd already for like 3 weeks now or more. Okay, let's count from this downside from since like April. The whole month of April has been bullish for Gbpusd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wish we were able to hold that buys from these zones. We would have been making very good amount of money for ourselves by now. Let's see how many pips that has been from here to where price currently is. Like 200 pips. All right, so if we calculate the total pips between this yellow area to this up zones, let's see, that's like 400 pips. Okay, so clearly we are looking for like 350 pips. Okay, 350 pips. Remember, I told you guys here, you can see it's even clearly written the 350 pips of bullishness. So any trade call that you can catch or zones you can see a trade entry, please do well to hold it for the longest of. So here on the hourly time frame, on the daily time frame rather, all right, like I said, this was the thumbnail which we used for last week. So like I always said, a lot of informations are always embedded on our thumbnail. You can see price has a very nice market structure, ups, downs, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Okay, so that pullback to this zone had already happened. If you look at it on the 4-hour time frame, all right, the pullback has already happened. So what do we do? So for me, this is an impromptu way for me to enter this. I'll plot this like so, and I'll plot another minor zone beneath it. Okay, beneath here. All right, so what do I want to see? What do I want to see? Let me squeeze this a little bit for you guys to have a better picture. Okay, so what do I want to see? I'm going to give you two scenarios. So we could have price pullback to this level, all right, to this level, then a bullish continuation. It's more like a sell to buy scenarios. Okay, sell to buy scenarios to our first level, which is 1.684 and overall 1.379. all right, or we could see price break out of this highs, a break, a retest, and a continuation to 1.369 and overall to 1.378 to the upside. Okay, so we are still very much bullish on GBP USD. The last but not the least, US oil.
It's bounced off the $100 area, right? So area of interest. Alright, so this areas has been very valid for the longest. So for me, you can just take or put your trade calls there. Alright, though market is already close. Hopefully, if you have a little pullback down in market open, maybe a little pullback down, you can now take that buys and target your next TP, which is like $109 per barrel. And okay, so we are still very much bullish on US oil until price shows us otherwise. And for the bearish side of things, you could be waiting for price to break here, to break the $94, a retest, and bearish continuations to $86. Okay,
so for US oil for last week, all right, as you guys can see, we projected US oil into precision. We were looking for price close with this way last week. So I told you guys we should see little pullback, then we should be comfortable enough to take our bullishness to the upsides, which this was a very nice trade call for us, a very nice 1:2 or 1:3 rather, for those of you that took that call. So we had a little bit of bullishness for like Monday, in between Sunday and Monday, okay, which market open, and thereafter price has been all bearish, which I also gave you the bullish side and bearish side. So if, let's say, peradventure you missed the bullish side, the bearish side, I told you guys, when price breaks here, we test these zones, you should be seeing a drop to the downside. So if you missed the bullish side, the bearish side was also a nice way or a good heads up for us to also make money from it. Okay, and see where price terminated, which was the next zone which we had here. Okay, although we had little pullbacks again into a deeper zones before price continuation. So this is also a very nice setup for us. For me, you can see price coming to that zone, which is also our area of interest. Okay, which is also our area of interest. So all what we see is price go into that zones and drop. Okay, so we are going to look for the base level, which price is also reacting off the next area of interest. All right, so for me, this is already a good trade for me. This is a very good trade for me. So the last candle for Friday close with that bearish engulfing candle, so I can put my stop somewhere around here. All right, I put my stop somewhere around there, and we can target our first level. Remember, 100% retracement level. I think I'm going to take this off and use a line Right, let's use a line because I don't really need. Alright, so this is like a very nice 1:1.2, 1:2.5. Alright, then overall we can target our next zone, which is the 82 points, okay, or 82 barrels, $82 per barrels. Okay, so this is our next daily area of interest. So what we need to see is price pullbacks reacting off these zones, right, which is this area of interest. First level $89 per barrel and all the way to $86 per barrel. So I call it here first the continuous drop on US oil. Okay, so if the P stock continues, we are going to see a drastic drop on US oil. So I think I myself will also be personally interested in trading US oil. So US oil will be part of my A setups for next week. So that will be it for this week, guys. If you have watched this video to this very moment, please do have to smash the subscribe button, like, share, and drop your thoughts on the comment section. Or if you feel what we are doing and you appreciate it, also drop some thumbs up or a fire emoji on the comment sections. Okay, it costs just $0 to like, to share, and to comment. These things costs actually $0. Okay, so always remember to plan your trades and trade your plan. See you guys in the inner circle. Cheers.